I think this is really, if you're doing the same job, doing the same amount of hours, as I said, if you are processing payroll for 200 employees, you're still doing the same job. But now, part of it you can do at home, those reporting, printing you can do at home, and then you still produce on time. If your boss ever give you, say that because you work from home, your pay is just dropped, I think quit the company. Alright, I'm serious. Because I'm doing the same amount of work, you have no reason to say that just because I work from home, I save you electricity, and then you ask me, you reduce the pay. But what has happened to, what we notice for a lot of people is, especially for women, when they become mothers, some of them would say that, okay, I don't want such a stressful job. For example, I don't want to travel so much. I want a job that is, I have more time, So usually when some of this job that demand a lot more responsibility, the job pay is higher. I have somebody who is on call 24 hours, right? So maybe her pay is $10,000 a month. She said, no, it's hard for me to get a baby. I got my baby. I don't want this kind of job anymore. I want a job where it's very predictable. Once I leave the office, I don't have to work. So that kind of job probably only pay about $7,000. All right, so it's 30%. It's not because she chose. It's because the job nature has changed. And then after they say, I only want to work 50%. So if it's a $7,000 worth job, now you work 50%, what do you get? Then they say, see lah, I work part-time, only got 3,500. Last time, every time I dress, I go and get 10,000. Now I also dress, I take the train, but I get 3,500. It is not fair. All right, so let's be realistic. I think for those of us who are asking for, ask yourself, what has changed in the job? All right, if it's 3,500, and unfortunately, when I was an employer, I said it's okay, then if you don't want, then go back to your $10,000 job. All right, I would say that I wish the situation is better, but there are not enough of such flexible work arrangement jobs. So when I was doing this, I told myself this is called license. That means I took this license because I wanted to bring my kids. So it's okay that during this certain period of time I work a little bit less, but what happens is that I remain in the workforce. And when I'm ready to ramp up, I'm not starting from zero. So it's okay, I cannot earn that 10,000, I only earn 3,500. Can you imagine how painful it is? If you earn 2,000 now, suddenly you only get like 30% of the work. A lot of major adjustment. Then they say not worthwhile at all. So I think for employees, we have to make that mindset. But truly, if it's unfair, same amount of job, just because you choose flexible arrangement, I will tell you, go look for another employer. But it is something because of the changed nature of job. For example, this person that I actually hired, every day at 3 o'clock, she goes back, she takes the kid for swimming, she has a party and everything. It's impossible with the previous job. So there must be a value for that work-life portion. Is that worth something? To me, I know how much I'm giving up in terms of my pay, but I really feel that it's an exchange. So the other thing that people say, this is a sacrifice, trade-off, compromise. I say, no, it's an exchange. I exchange for the years, the time I have with my children, the time I have to start WeWeb, a non-profit organization. All this brings me a lot of satisfaction beyond the dollars that I am exchanging it for. So I think for employees, please, two factors. If it's really unfair, please leave your job. I think everyone can complain to everyone else. Same job, reduce pay. Okay, mediation and whatever. But if you are having a change in nature of job, please be realistic. All right, know why you are choosing this job. Know why you're choosing the hours. Yeah, so that's what I mean by that.
Yeah, I think I fully agree that at the end of the day, it's a choice that you have to make. You see from here that it is not just about employers. Employees themselves may also have their own barriers, their own issues that you have to get over with, and it is about mindset change, right? So this thing about, if you work part-time, then can you get the same pay? Well, if you work only 3 days a week, not flexi-work as in do the same amount of work, but you work, shorter hours and it's really part-time, then you cannot expect to get the same pay. And so, but there's a choice you have to make. It's your priority, right? Value system in that sense. And as Ian say, there is also a value in staying home to look after the kids. Although I can tell you that for me, if I look after the kids, I'll drive the kids up the wall. So I'm not one of those who can do this and stay at home. But then there are people who find that that's invaluable, right? And that's why we say you have to look for your own equilibrium, Of course, at the extreme is, there's this thing, right? If work is your life, then everything is in equilibrium, right? But we're not preaching that. It is really to each his own, and we do want to ensure, and I think the call for work-life harmony, I think, has been increasing. And people want to value the fact that they have the time to spend with their kids, with their family and so on and so forth. So we need to engender that kind of environment. So definitely it's a choice you have to make, but whatever it is, you must be fairly remunerated for the work done. So if you are actually doing exactly the same thing but you telecommute, then you shouldn't be paid less, unless it's a lesser scope of work or responsibility. This thing about the last one, which is really a low percentage, plenty of distractions working away from the office. Actually, it varies, and I have a friend who works for IBM, and he's allowed. IBM is a lot. They didn't pay me commission, but Janet didn't do it. But anyway, they really offer flexi-work arrangements. Very, very good. I have another friend who works for IBM since the day he graduated in 1982 till now. Flexi-work. So, spend a lot of time with the family, but they do a lot of consultancy work, and then they have to go and see the client, so they don't really have to go back to office. But they do go back to office for meetings, right? I don't know how many times a week, but, really flexi. So this other friend, flexi, but he says, no, I make it a point to go to office because I cannot work from home. But the good thing about it is that he can go anytime. So he doesn't have to travel during peak hours, on peak. That kind of thing. And again, that is something that is also very valuable, very useful. So really, you have to work out what is acceptable to you and your boss, of course, right? You can work it out. Being graded less favorably. Actually, again, that is perception. If you work it out with your boss, and there is really, like I say, a plan, right? And a structured way of remuneration, of assessment and so on, that shouldn't be the case. Why should you be seen to be less committed or graded less favorably just because you are on flexible arrangements? In fact, you might be better than somebody else, right? Okay, so this is something that we need to look at.